Coming up on Wave TV, Emma Bessie tells us all about the town of Somerville's new Hutchinson Square.
And Molly Bessie informs us on Miss Atkinson's upcoming trip to Europe.
Good morning, Somerville. I'm Hannah Simmons.
And I'm Travis Jones. Today is March 8th, 2019, and Wave TV starts now.
Is it like on the life limit?
No.
On February 22nd, shots rang out at Northwoods Mall.
Nobody was injured, but this marks the third shooting at Northwoods in the last 2 years. AC Canty has the story.
Followed by news closer to home, as Emma Bessie gives us insight on the opening of the recently renovated Hutchinson Square in downtown Somerville.
On February 22nd, there was a shooting incident in the Champs sportswear store at Northwoods Mall. There were 2 suspects identified and wanted for questioning. We spoke with Spencer Pryor, the public information officer of North Charleston, asked for further details.
Officers responded to the mall based on the report of an active shooter. Once we were able to arrive on scene, quick assessment, we were able to determine that it was not actually an active shooter situation, but a shooting incident that took place. For whatever reason, whether they recognized the group of people, one person or at least one person started to fire shots. What we don't want to happen is, if it wasn't resolved there at Northwoods Mall, will it spill over into the community?
This is a big deal for our community, but how are we going to support our officers?
If you're on a scene or you witness something to happen, the best thing you could do is to provide police with as much information as you possibly can. It's important for them to know that we will do any and everything that we can to make sure that folks are safe when they visit our city or whether they live here.
Some new information came out on Wednesday stating that one suspect is under arrest, but the other is still at large. Please give any information that you may have. Please stay safe, Somerville. For Wave TV, I'm AC Canty.
Going home now, going home. Well, I think the square does look much nicer. I think that will help us get new customers. I'm hoping that people will discover downtown Somerville.
Just in time for spring, the Flower Town in the Pines completed a very exciting addition. This is the new Hutchinson Square. After a year of construction, Somerville celebrated its completion on March 1st with food trucks and live music. We talked to Barbara Dunning, the owner of the local and historic Garrett's Pharmacy, about what improvements have been made to the square.
It's kind of modern. I think the benches are a little flashy because they're shiny. We needed sidewalks. We had gravel sidewalks, pea gravel sidewalks before. People who visited our town who had a walker, wheelchair, even needed a cane to walk, they couldn't navigate it very good. Usability is much greater with the new sidewalks. And I think that really does add to the downtown.
This improvement is not only for the townspeople. Local businesses are hoping that the square can encourage citizens and tourists to be more involved with the community and brighten up the downtown atmosphere.
The local businesses want it to be used for fairs and maybe a nonprofit to encourage nonprofits to come and set up. And I think that's a good way for it to be used. We were busy on Friday night. We did not stay open because I didn't have the staff to work. Everybody wanted to go and see. People told me there were people sitting on blankets in the park and things like that, so that's nice. But on Saturday, we were jam-packed. Everybody who thought it would rain and didn't come, they decided to come on Saturday.
Thank you, Mrs. Dunning, for your time. Make sure to stop by the new square and check out all the new features and shops. Reporting for Wave TV, I'm Emma Bessie.
Thank you to both Emma and Ryan. Somerville was settled around the turn of the 18th century, so it's great to see that we're keeping with the times.
Moving on with the problem that hits closer to home, the beginning of March brings spring, and spring means pollen. Ryan Wyndham is here with more.
Pollen is back, and it's stronger than ever. But why is it so prevalent when we have yet to come out of winter? To know why, we have to dive into the spore that causes it all.
Why am I in here? Nah, this ain't it, Chief. I'm outie.
Much better. So what is pollen? Sorry, I can't help you on that one. But I can help you figure out the reason why we are so hesitant to go outside because of it. Pollen is a spore, and that's all I got. But it is also a reproductive cell. Weird, right? And this particular season of pollen is quite the interesting one. It started in winter. Why? Well, the reason is because plants cannot tell what time of year it is, so they judge time by the temperature. And lately, it's been pretty freaking warm. But that aside, let's dive into the season in its current form. As far as we're concerned, South Carolina is in the orange zone, which is medium high. It sucks, but that's the reality we live in. But hey, at least we're not Florida or Louisiana. Oof, sucks to be them. Yeah, that's not coming off. Research showed that airborne pollen only comes from a certain number of plant life, such as trees, weeds, and grass. But worry not, grass is not in season, it is trees, worst of all. Then followed by grass and weeds. Because they're airborne pollen, so just accept it. Now for the hard truth. Pollen takes many victims, as they are stuck inside to hide from the ferocious man-hunting spore. Many people lose their will to leave the comfort of their bedside, and one person has shared their experience in their time of need.
It's rough. Resources are running out. We can no longer go outside without fear of death. It's imminent, really. Pollen's mean. That's how it's treating me. It's beating me up every day. I try and take a different route, and it finds me, and it takes my lunch money. It's horrible. Every morning my car is coated in yellow fuzz. I feel like it's 50-50. Like some people aren't affected at all and other people, we just want to stay inside. I just feel like in a past life, clearly people who are allergic to pollen have done something wrong. We plucked too many flowers that died and now this is our comeuppance.
In all seriousness, pollen is a pretty big issue, something that can leave us bedridden with allergies and just stuff that we can't really help. So, in the season of pollen, please be safe, Somerville. It only lasts till fall. For Wave TV, I'm Ryan Wyndham.
Thanks, as always, Ryan. Now to student news. Seniors, last Monday you should have received your obligation letter in homeroom. Remember to get all your fees paid before graduation practice in May. Leadership is looking for more members for the start of the next school year. If you're interested, please talk to your guidance counselor or Miss Plain if you have any more questions. Back to the show. Journalism classes such as newspaper, yearbook, and Wave TV attended their annual CYPA conference last weekend. Hannah Simmons is here with a recap.
Ranging from March 1st to the 3rd, Somerville High School's yearbook, newspaper, and Wave TV staffs had the opportunity to travel to the CYPA competition in the capital of Columbia. CYPA, aka the Southern Interscholastic Press Association, teaches rising journalists how to perfect their craft and help their programs reach the next step.
It was just a true bonding experience for all of our newspaper staff. We made sure that everything that we learned we're going to apply to our newspaper, so I'm really excited for that. As my first year here, I was a sophomore and I didn't really know what I was doing in newspaper, and I came and it just inspired me. I felt like I had so much to provide for our newspaper. The most important thing I learned is really just to make sure you put your heart in your paper, because you want your audience to know exactly what you want to tell them. You want to inform them, but you also want to give them your opinion.
Besides the learning sessions and evaluations, SHS students also entered their pieces for competition. For yearbook, Angel Frank won second place for sports photography. Megan Dagley and Angel Frank won honorable mention for alternative copy spread. In newspaper, Dontrell Wetzel took home Best in Show for sports package. On to broadcast, Jelani Moore placed honorable mention for talent reel. Hannah Simmons and Travis Jones received second place for sports coverage. Ryan Wyndham and Jordan Hofert won second place for promotional video. Hannah Simmons placed second for news story. Anna Tone, Logan Watson, and Emma Bessie won honorable mention, and Will Sutton, Allison Paget, Jelani Moore, and Travis Jones received second place, all for short film. CYPA was a great experience for all involved. Congrats to all the winners. For Wave TV, I'm Hannah Simmons.
CYPA is such a great opportunity for young journalists, and I personally hope to see more staff members in our classes next year. Speaking of great opportunities, Mrs. Atkinson is setting up a once-in-a-lifetime trip to Switzerland. Jessica Hinthorn has the story, followed by a Wave TV fan favorite, Ask Pierce.
In June of 2020, Somerville students and other schools will be going abroad. On this 9-day trip, you have the opportunity to go to Austria, Germany, and Switzerland.
Students who travel tend to be more open-minded and aware of cultural differences. But of course we're going to go and see some historical sites and participate in like tons of activities. So tons of different ways you can pay for it. There are several payment options on monthly, I think bi-weekly options. What I also like about EF Tours is if for some reason something out of the blue were to happen in one of the locations that we were planning to go to that would make it unsafe, or if we just felt uncomfortable going to a specific region, they would accommodate that by redirecting us to a different location that we would want to go to. Just come to my room 146 and I can give you all the information that you need, information for you to take home to your parents.
Join me and many others for this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. For Wave TV, I'm Jessica Henthorn.
What's up everyone, it's Pierce and I'm back out again with another Ask Pierce. But this week, instead of reviewing your questions, I'm reviewing memes. And I need some help, so I'm gonna ask my best friend, Seth Marks.
Do you get it with or without?
Okay. You walk downstairs and step 2 steps down.
I step 2 steps down intentionally. It's when I accidentally step the entire staircase down and then I break my collarbone.
One step in and then fall. Ask Pierce, Jimmy Fallon. So true. And if you didn't see, I posted this on my Ask Pierce Instagram and tagged Jimmy Fallon, so please upvote it. All right.
Yeah, me too.
When people ask how you're doing at the end of the semester, that's too real.
You probably can't relate to that because you're a smart boy, but I always end up pulling through.
Those are hard.
I have barely made it for the past
You
8
barely made
years.
it. We're talking about 12 years.
Okay, I was...
Wait, what's 8 minus 12? See what I mean?
4. Okay, 4.
See what I mean?
4th grade. Okay, yeah, no. So for the past... Come on. You can do the math. What's 12 minus 8? I'm sorry, did I put you on the spot?
Yeah. Anyways, a student's prayer. Now,
this is from iFunny.
Yeah. What?
It's from iFunny.
Okay, then we won't do it. Okay. So, alright then. Well, that was Ask Pierce memes. So, if you want to send me questions or memes or whatever, you can DM me at Ask Pierce.
iFunny sucks.
Reporting for Wave TV, I'm Pierce Collins.
It's crazy to think that Ask Pierce was aired almost a year ago.
And moving on, in recent news, there's been controversy over the creepy figure Momo. Seth Stacy is here to dive into the rumors.
And Riverdale's Luke Perry passed away earlier this week. Jade Goodrich gave us more information on the actor's passing.
Warning, the video you are about to see is not suitable for young audiences 10 and under. Please skip this segment if you are a child watching at home. For those of you who are either high school students or adults, please be warned that what you are about to see may be disturbing. Your discretion is advised.
Momo's gonna kill you. At night she'll come. When you're in bed, in the morning you will be dead.
What you just saw is a video that has been showing up in the kids section of YouTube. This horrifying being was originally known as Mother Bird and was a horror sculpture that was on display in Tokyo, Japan in 2016. The sculpture has been used in videos in order to scare children into keeping secrets of Momo from their parents. My mother has a friend out of state whose children had seen Momo. However, Christine had no idea what this thing was.
I mean, they had a lock put on the door upstairs, and I just thought it was Tegan had just moved into that room, and she wanted a lock put on the door that went into the attic, and I was like, no, that's no big deal. I mean, that's a typical 8-year-old kid being scared, but she was scared of this creature.
Christine is a very proactive parent that has boundaries set in place so things like Momo can't scare her kids. However, Momo still found a way through.
And they have slept on a couch or in bed with me since Christmas. And I never put it together. They're still sleeping on the couch.
Christine is a mother to 4 loving daughters ages 20, 21, 8, and 9. It was the oldest daughter that showed Momo to Christine and was concerned if her younger siblings had seen it. Christine got the messages during Bible study with the girls and asked them if they had seen Momo.
I mean, I wasn't thinking anything of it. I just turned the phone around and said, girls, have y'all seen this? Both of them immediately jumped off the bed. Tay burst into tears, ran down the hallway, and was like, I'm gonna die tonight. I'm dying tonight. She's coming to kill me tonight. And they were both convinced. It was last Tuesday that they were dead. I was beyond pissed off. I was mad at the girls for not telling me. And then I got extremely sad that I failed them as a parent.
Thank you, Christine, for taking time to talk with me about your story. This shows that incidents like these can happen to anyone, even proactive parents. However, there are ways to take action in making sure slips like Momo don't get through. In YouTube Kids, you can take away search settings so children don't have free range of the app. You can also pause watch history so YouTube doesn't try to recommend unapproved shows to your kids. I cannot stress enough to you how much you older kids watching can save your younger siblings from things like Momo by saying something to your parents. Remember to look out for your family, Somerville. Reporting from Wave TV, I'm Seth Stacy.
Luke Perry was a very well-respected film star. He starred in many movies and TV shows like Fifth Element as Billy, Buffy the Vampire Slayer as Pike, and in 90210 as Dylan, and most recently, Fred Andrews in Riverdale. On February 27th, he was hospitalized because of a massive stroke, then shortly on March 4th passed away. His death caused a major uproar because he was affected from the stroke at such a young age. Luke Perry has left behind an amazing legacy, and his impact on film and TV will not be forgotten anytime soon. Reporting for Wave TV, I'm Jade Goodrich.
Thank you, Seth and Jade.
For all Pokemon fans alike, get your Pokédex ready for 2 new Pokemon games. Jacob Jr. Mayhew has the insight for the new generation of Pokemon.
At 9 a.m. on Wednesday, February 27th, Nintendo and Game Freak held a Pokemon Direct to unveil the next generation of Pokemon with Generation 8's Pokemon Sword and Shield. This will be the first mainline Pokemon game on a home console, except that one time, we don't count that. The game takes place in the Galar region, being inspired by the geography, architecture, and culture of the UK. Game Freak also presented the finalized designs for the protagonists that we will play as and travel with through our Pokemon adventure. They also gave us our 3 starters, Grookey, Scorbunny, and Sobble. And you know who I'm picking. #Team Sobble. While we haven't seen the legendary Pokemon for the respective games, don't doubt we'll be getting another Aegislash, but that's just me though. Regardless, Nintendo and Game Freak have done well to impress with what little they've shown, so let's expect even more as the months pass. Reporting from Wave TV, I'm Jacob Jr. Mayhew.
I'm excited to see what new Pokemon is there to come later on this year.
Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee already broke the Nintendo Switch's sales record, so it'll be interesting to see the next installments. Unfortunately, that's all we have for you this week, Somerville. For Wave TV, I'm Hannah Simmons.
And I'm Travis Jones. Have a great weekend, Somerville.